Hey, welcome everybody. I am Stephen Cole for those who don't know me, and this is my wife,
Nicole
Cole. Yes, y'all, that is her real, actual name.
I know, that's what I say every time I say my name. I have to say, this is my real name.
Yeah.
Nicole Cole.
So, she didn't know that, by the way,
What do you mean?
When she was born, when your parents named you.
Of course.
They didn't know they named you just for me.
My maiden name is Chigumira. So.
Yeah, you kind of had a little foreshadowing going on.
I've always had a weird name. Sorry, not weird.
No,
I've
it's
always
okay.
had an interesting name.
Yeah, you have, but it worked out, you see? Now you got a beautiful stage name, Nicole Cole.
I know.
But anyway, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Alls that are watching, we are live here on Facebook. And we are live on YouTube.
For the first time. This is our first time doing this. So
shout out to our YouTube fam, our Cole family fam.
Cole fam in the house.
If you have not tuned in to us, please go subscribe to our YouTube channel at Cole Family World. And so we are very excited to start this because I know our marriage is real. It's really interesting, but it's very real. Our love is real, and we want to share that with people. We want to share that with you all. So, pretty much, we're just going to go into who we are. I'll let you go first.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, you just going to put it on me like that. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So my name is Nicole Cole, as you know. Some of you know, I'm a mom. I am a wife to this one. I'm also a business owner, multiple business entities. But I will say they all pretty much stem around the arts. So we'll sum it up to that. We are co-business owners of Works of Wonder Studios. Yes. Which is a production media company. Mm-hmm. And we also have a family business, family brand for influencing, acting. Yep,
we act modeling. as a whole, our whole family acts and models, and so that's fun.
And individually as well. Mm-hmm. So that's a little.
Hence the gorgeous face right here.
Oh my gosh. But that's a little sum up of what we do for as far as work goes. Mm-hmm. But me personally, I have a passion for God. I have a passion for spreading His love, and just doing what He calls me to do in whatever form or fashion that is. So that's one of my greatest passions in life. So yeah.
Okay, well, coming over to this side, it's your boy, Steve Charles Cole. That is a fun fact. My middle name is Charles for those.
Oh, wow, you said your whole name.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I guess I'll say my middle name. My middle name is Ruth, which most people don't expect that because it's a classic name.
But it's a pretty name. It's a nice name.
But my great-grandmother was named Ruth, so that's my middle name.
So pretty much, I am from New Jersey, and I moved down to Georgia in 2011 and married as they say, the love of my life. 2016, we got married. Yeah. So it took 5 years of pruning, to get ready for this one.
Well, how old were you when you got married? How old were you?
Should I say that? Okay,
oh,
yes.
No.
No. Okay, it's cool. I got married when I was 20. I was young.
And I was 21.
I was young. I turned 21 married. That's a whole nother story.
It's a whole other story.
But yeah, no. I am 20 years old and...
Well, you were 20 years old when you got married.
Yeah, no, I'm 26 now. Because we'll be literally from tomorrow, March, April, we are at 5 years and 10 months.
Of marriage.
And we just have... 5 years and 10 months. Our anniversary is on April the 2nd. But no, pretty much I'm all things sports. I'm all things fun. I absolutely love God. So it's just, I don't know, I'm a bundle of joy. For those that know me, y'all know I'm hyper. I'm turned. But I'm reserved. I'm cool when needed.
I don't know. He's usually hype. Like if you ever meet him and like you see him on just 10 or 100, and he's just loud.
Yeah.
That's how he is all the time.
Yeah.
Like, not some of the time. He's like this all of the time. And I can say this as his wife and literally as his business partner who works with him every single day. He's just hype all the time.
I am, but it all comes from God. It's not me. Definitely.
It has to. That energy. That energy. It has to come from God, because I don't know where you get it from.
But that's who I am. We are the parents of beautiful twins. We have a boy and we have a girl, and we love them. We love them so much. They're probably in the other room. Hopefully they don't come
spoil
in.
Them.
But
it is what it is.
So also I will get into pretty much us. Like I said, we're married. We've been married almost 6 years, 5 years and 10 months. I will throw in one of the best things about being married has been the process that we've grown. Because when we got married, we loved each other one way, and now we love each other a whole different way.
Yeah,
so that's definitely cool.
I would basically say like we grew up together. Honestly, we got married. Yeah. He was 20, I was 21, and it's just been literally going from teenage years to like young adult years and like we're still young adults, but like we're higher young adults. So I feel like we just grew up together, and it's so interesting, like our journey, and we'll kind of get into that as we progress with these videos more. But I just feel like our journey has been a compound of God's work in our lives as individuals, but also the natural process of growing up. So maturing, if you will.
Yeah. I like that. I like that because oh my gosh, I'll talk about me. I've definitely matured.
No, I'll talk about me.
I'll talk about me.
I'll talk about me.
But anyway, guys, just to give you a quick backstory of why we chose the name The Love That Lives, why that's what this is called, why that is what this is all about.
This series,
which is The Love That Lives.
Which is going to be all February
February. So if you don't, if somebody out there and they may need this, whether it's relationships, you guys have questions that you want to send in, message, comment, or email us, you can definitely do that. But definitely share this to someone who you think may need it, because it's very important to have, great information and be real about things when it comes to love, relationships, and, God in general. But the reason why we chose the name, The Love That Lives, is because one, love is something that it's in everything.
It transcends.
It transcends. It doesn't stop.
Love is patient. Love is kind.
Oh my gosh. But it's very true.
So many things.
And it shows its face in different areas of your life if you allow it, which is really cool. But for us, it means a lot because it's the dynamic of our marriage. It's the dynamic on how we view ourselves. It's the flow and function of our family. Yes. Our family only flows off of love. When our kids wake up in the morning, they're excited to play. They're excited to do things. They're excited to be with us. And definitely love transcends over time. So it's something that lives. It evolves. It learns. It comes from God because what God gives is what is produced through us. And so it's really cool to be able to have love like this. Definitely learned,
and to be able to love others,
all people,
which is something all that we want to share too, because in the process of God showing us His love for us is how He's taught us to love each other, how He's taught us to love our kids, and how He's taught us to even love other people. Which, in this day and age, love is it's one of those like taboo words. Like
sometimes it's overused, sometimes it's misunderstood,
sometimes it's hated.
Sometimes it's foreign.
Yeah.
Based on what you've been through. And so having at least a good enough definition of what love can be is, and that I think that's something that's very essential.
Definition from God, biblically.
From God, biblically. Yeah. So that's pretty much why we chose The Love That Lives. Y'all can see I'm looking down, making sure we stay on track, with these notes.
Because we have notes.
Yes, because if not, we'll
talk way too much.
We'll talk.
But it's okay. So, yes, tonight is a brief overview of who we are. So we're just kind of getting into that a little bit. So
next, I will say though, some of the things we'll be going over everything from love, and I mean, if you're single, if you're married, if you're recently married, if you married for 15, 20 years. You have
siblings,
cousins, even aunts, self-love.
Uncles, yeah.
Self-love is very important.
Yeah.
Mental health is very important. So things like that, talking about couples, all the topics, keep your children away. So now I'm playing with you. If they want to watch, that's cool.
More for adults.
We'll keep it children. Well, I don't know. Because my mouth, I'm just playing. But anyway, no, it's very important that we go over, these things with the relationships, God, family, even us updating on you guys on how we're doing, where we're at, some of the things that we learned recently over this past couple of years.
Now, hear me. Mm-hmm. We are not at all. We're not professional counselors, as most of you guys know. We're not pretending to be that. We're literally just sharing our journey and how we have found God in each step of the way, even in our mess ups, even in our failing, even in our laughing, even in our sorrows. Like we've just been able to find God in different points in our lives. So that's mainly what we're sharing with you guys. However, we do absolutely recommend premarital counseling, marital counseling at any point in time, which we've had a lot of. And we just recommend just always having people that will hold you accountable as
in your corner,
couples, right?
In your corner to push you.
Yes. So I'm just giving that disclaimer. No, we're not any type of professionals,
but always willing to give what we've known, learned, and just simply what
just
the Bible,
sharing our
what
testimony,
God says.
really.
Yep.
Yeah.
And some cool things too. We'll be definitely letting you guys know about where we've been, because YouTube.
We haven't been on YouTube. 5 months. It's been 5 months.
Yeah, 5.
Well, on Cole Family World, I've been on my channel a little bit more.
Nicole recently rebranded her channel. It's called By Nicole Cole. BYNICOLECOLE. By Nicole Cole. She recently rebranded her page and has been uploading every single week.
For the most part, yeah.
Every single week, consistency.
Thank you, I appreciate it. So we haven't been on YouTube with
Cole Family World.
Yeah, with YouTube with Cole Family World for 5 months, and that's because our lives have literally shifted yet again. I guess I can go into a little bit now, and then we'll expound a little later. So I'll say that we have transitioned. I began, when we first moved down to Florida, I was working for Disney full time. Of course, we were still doing Works of Wonder Studios. He was doing it more full time than I could. I kind of shifted roles. And it's been amazing because in that process of time, we just started doing acting on the side, and we started doing modeling on the side.
Very much so.
And the kids got into it as well. And in these past few months, we have shifted to full-time production in our own production company, as well as acting for TV, film, commercials, and things like that. So over these 5 months, we've been extremely busy, but trusting God in whole new ways. We had to take some major leaps of faith last year. Yeah. And we that's one of the things we're going to be talking about, because when you take major leaps of faith, it's already it's a major step to take. But when you're a married couple, believing God, it's another challenge, because you have to.
Well, not only just married, we got kids.
Yes.
So that's a whole.
And parenting.
Yes.
So remaining on the same page and just fighting together, not fighting each other, but fighting the good fight together. It's definitely a challenge in the process. So it's going to be one of the things that we're going to be talking about during this series.
I'm telling y'all. If y'all don't know, please let somebody know that has not. Go on and share it. Send to whoever you need to, because these topics are going to be good. They're going to be real. We're not going to be out here sugarcoating nothing, because being as authentic as we have been to each other, to our children, is what we know is necessary to say.
And we also know that in the process that we have been in our lives, we've hit a lot of rock bottoms. We've hit moments where we literally wanted to give up. So even for us choosing to do this, it's just to encourage people, people who are in their journey of marriage, that marriage is not necessarily going to be peaches and cream, because it's life peaches and cream. You know, whether you're single, whether you're married, either one. You're going to go through some stuff. That's actually a guarantee that we even have in the Word. Yeah. But there are some tools that we've learned along the way, and there are tools that even God gives us to actually use to get through even the challenges of life. So that's another thing that we're going to be doing, is just encouraging other couples as well. So throughout our videos, we actually are going to have a section for questions. So we definitely encourage you guys to send in your questions, even for the episode next Tuesday. Yeah,
next Tuesday, 6 p.m. We will be live again. If you have any questions, we will have a specific segment in all of our episodes that we will go over your questions. If you guys are watching now and have questions.
How can they send it in?
If you want to send it in, something that might be private, because we respect people's privacy and confidentiality, you can send it through Messenger. Yeah. You can contact either one of us if you want to message Nicole. That's perfectly fine.
And you can email.
And if you want to, you can email us. And so whatever method works for you guys, definitely send them in, because we're going to have a specific segment, whether it's if you want to comment while we're going over these things, you can definitely do that as well. But if it's something that you might want advice about to be, anonymous, or whatever case may be, you can definitely message us privately, individually, and we will go over
anonymous.
that. You will be anonymous. Okay. And it's perfectly fine. You will not be judged, because we all have had rough patches. We all have had great patches. And sometimes navigating both ends of that spectrum is definitely necessary.
Very true. And that is definitely something we're going to be talking about too.
Because it's not just it's not just about
because it's not just about experiencing, well, how do I put this? There's times where you go through lack, there's times where you go through challenges, but there's also times where you go through abundance and a lot of eyes on you. And
eyes, resources, opportunity, influence, and how you handle those things.
Handle that.
Being in a great place.
Right.
Because that's a whole. We'll go over that. And so that's pretty much.
Well, I have some questions, because I know we're getting to know each other a little bit more.
Okay.
So you said you grew up in New Jersey.
Yes.
I have a question for you.
Okay.
What did you want to be when you grew up originally? What was the thing that you wanted to be?
Well, I mean, all I've known is sports. The first love in sports was football. I wanted to make it to the NFL, be in the Hall of Fame, get the Heisman in college. I wanted to be excellent. Always in shape. I wanted to be able to create that legacy, and then, have kids, and then they grow up and do what they wanted to do. So so I wanted to be a professional football player. Did it pan out that way? No. That was not God's intention or plan. So we'll get into that. But yes, no. That was what I wanted to do.
Cool.
Initially. But I got to do other amazing things in sports. We'll get to that as well. But yeah, no. That was my first.
Interesting. So when I was younger, I'll mention this too. I grew up in Georgia, but I also grew up in South Africa and Zimbabwe for part of my life. So I was raised by two electrical engineers. Mm-hmm. These are people who worked hard to get their degrees, worked hard to get the businesses that they own. My parents, I'm talking about my mom and dad, and they're just hardworking, amazing people. And I think they always dreamed of me. Well, I used to dream of becoming a doctor, but they really wanted me to become a doctor too. Did I do that?
No.
No, I didn't become a doctor. To this day, they still be like, "Hey, you want to go back to school?" I'd be like,
"Well,
no."
Hey, but we just
there's nothing wrong with becoming a doctor, though.
We just had Denise. Yeah. Denise said, "Hey, family."
Hey,
Denise.
Sis.
Hope all is well. We love you. We love you. Haven't seen you. Hope to see you soon.
Yeah.
Love to you and the family. But no. So yeah, it's funny because being a doctor. Well, she does great in taking care of me and the kids. She's actually a really great mom.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
No. Receive it. She's a great mom.
No, I'll receive it. I'll take the compliment.
Okay. Because sometimes
you'd be like, okay.
Well, you're really humble, and I appreciate that. So I just wanted to make sure you knew that you are a great mom. Because there's a lot of things that come with love and stuff. So I just wanted to say that. So.
Thank you. But yes, so I will say, so as for me, I ended up doing a different profession than my family expected. I ended up going into, I'll say I think my mom always knew I had a passion for the arts and dance and things like that. But it's one of those careers that you choose where I think the fear of family can be that it's going to be pretty unstable. Like, you're not going to really be able to support yourself in that way. And I'll say to that, there's some truth in it because there are a lot of struggling performers out here. Like, it's a real thing. But, with God, all things are possible. And that's just what I believe. And I couldn't have imagined that God would put me with somebody who had such amazing natural abilities, even in dance and even in like production, and like I had no idea that we actually would flow in that same way. So we ended up creating actual business together as a family. So it kind of added on another aspect to our marriage too, because it's like, okay, we're married. But
what could we take and build it and make it into? Right. From what we had, but also from what we discovered, because that was pretty cool.
Right. But also finding the balance of marriage and business. Yeah. That too.
Also say one thing that is cool to everybody watching. We are live. And this is not pre-recorded.
Yeah, so comment
comment if you have anything. Hey, Rosa said, hey family. Hey. We haven't seen you guys in a while, but hopefully we'll see you guys soon. We're telling everybody hello. If you want to say hey, go and leave a hey in a comment. We'll be sure to shout you out.
Share the video. So tonight's video is really getting to know us. And
hold up, Maxine is on.
Oh, you mean Mac Martin?
Mac Martin.
We love him.
Anyway.
So yeah, tonight's video is really about just getting to know us.
Yes.
And our background.
To get ready. If you have any questions, definitely let us know. Yes. We want you guys to be able to send the questions in, whether it's comments or if it's something personal, to definitely send them in. You can message either me or you can message Nicole. Yeah. Because we're gonna have a segment. We're gonna go over some questions that you guys may have, either correlating to what we're speaking about or something totally separate. Anonymous, or if you want to be named, that's perfectly fine. But we will keep the confidentiality between the two of us. So
well, the question will be shared, but as far
the question will be shared.
If you're anonymous,
then
it's an anonymous question.
It's an anonymous question.
All right, so on this path of getting to know us, we're gonna keep it going.
Keep it rolling.
So,
hey, Lyric said hello. Hey, Lyric.
Oh, hey, Lyric.
We'll make sure we give them a shout out. Thank you, Dad. My dad said we have balance. Hey, Dad. Hey, my parents. Question: How long have your parents been married?
Why would you ask me that? I don't know.
It's okay.
No. They've been married 20. No, I think it's 30. Is it 30 years?
Decades.
Say Mia. I think Mia's watching the video.
They've been married for decades.
Can you comment how many years Mom and Dad have been married? That's my sister.
They've been married for decades.
Comment.
Well, I know my parents. I believe
it's at least 30 years.
I believe. I'm gonna say 41.
41 years.
41, 42. So okay. So fun fact about me. My parents are, older in age. My dad just turned 71.
Yay, happy birthday.
Yes, able-bodied and healthy. Hallelujah. 71. My mom, I'm going to say 67, only because I think that they were 4 years. I think they're 4 years apart.
Are you supposed to be saying that their age? I don't know.
No, they're fine. It's okay. It's okay because they look great. They're moving around perfect.
Oh, your dad said 41 years of marriage. So his parents were married for have been married for 41 years and counting. And my parents, I think, have been married, 30 something or 30 years. Oh Lord, they're gonna be like, you don't know.
It's okay.
Sorry.
Wonderful people. I have beautiful in-laws.
They raised
and I'm blessed to they raised me because
we have beautiful in-laws too.
Now, I needed some of that.
Should we say the fun facts too? I'll say a fun fact.
Oh Lord, I don't know what she about to say.
I'll say a fun fact.
This off script, y'all.
It is. So we have amazing in-laws, and man, y'all, you know how I told y'all we've had so many different challenges and just things that we've learned along the way. But I would say one of the things that when we first got married, when we first got engaged, both of our parents did not know either of us.
Yeah, wait, that's juice. Hold on, you can't do that yet. But to confirm, yes.
I mean, yeah, it's just a fun fact.
No one knew who we were.
No one knew.
We saving that. We're gonna open with that one next week.
We're gonna go into that.
Open that.
We're gonna go into that story, guys.
But no one knew who we were.
His parents didn't know me. My parents didn't know him.
Okay.
When we got engaged.
Hey, Mia said, hey, Mia.
Fun fact.
What's up, Rich? I'm shouting out everybody. If you comment and it come up, I will make sure we say hello. We love all of you. Or if we see you. So, that is a fun fact. Yeah. And I do. Oh, and going back to my parents, when I used to go to school, people used to think that my mom was my grandma. They used to be like, Steve, your grandma here? Some lady looking for you. It was like
some lady.
Because I was young and so anyway. I love you, Mom.
I love you.
You look beautiful.
Yes, you do.
And so but pretty much we just wanted to come on and give a backstory.
Yeah, just
who we are, get to know us.
Yes, because the reality is we grew up in two very different parts of the world. I grew up literally part of my life in South Africa, and he grew up north for part of his life, Philadelphia,
Jersey. Hey, I'm just playing. I'm messing with you.
So we grew up in different countries, part of our lives, which makes a difference. And it may seem like, okay, what does that have to do with marriage? But that actually does impact a marriage and the relationship. I'll say
cultural differences.
Yeah, cultural differences.
Hold up, Mia said we look alike. Is that true?
Your mom said we look alike.
Y'all, do we look alike? I'm just gonna say, wait, one, two. Do we look alike?
I don't know.
No, because we look like two different. See, I look like a whole nother person. Please still tune in because I look different.
You look the same.
No, I don't know. I don't know if we.
Anyway, let me get back to what I'm saying.
Anyway, go ahead.
But cultural differences make a difference in relationships, responses, and things like that because when you grow up with different cultures, like I grew up with a African background, which if anyone knows if you know any African, people for yourself and African parents,
they just have order. They have order.
It can be a strict parenting style. But it's normal. Like for us, that's how we grow up or whatever. But not saying that American parents are not strict too. They are. But it's just different. There's just different
dynamics,
cultures,
dynamics.
Yeah, things
because it's not just sometimes how someone is. Or like the stereotype of there's a whole lineage of how families were run, villages, were cultivated, levels of respect, that worked for like their society and created, great individuals. Still do. So there was a whole lot of and
it's not to say that any culture is right or wrong, but it's just different.
A lot of merging. It's
just different. On. But I think when we first got married, and even
that's a whole process.
That thing was something serious, because he didn't grow up necessarily with like an African culture background, so he had to learn a lot of different things in communication, even with our family. So like a part of marriage is your relationship, but then you got family, and that's a whole other conversation. So yeah, but yeah, just trying to get you guys to know our background a little more.
And let us know.
We will be diving into these conversations though.
We will be. But before we wrap, again, we're gonna open it up. If you guys have any questions that you publicly want to answer, you can put them in the chat. You can put them in the chat now. I'm checking to see.
I see what you're saying. Very defined order.
Very defined order.
That's a good description of it.
Looking to see if anybody had any questions, anything you want us to cover. You can put it down in there too.
Or any questions about tonight is really about who we are.
Just who we are.
So if you have any questions,
about who we are, why I feel like.
Why are you repeating me?
No, I was talking and I was like, wait, she's saying the same thing.
I got an echo.
I got an echo.
But yes. What was I saying?
I'm just playing.
Stop. No. You made me forget. Oh yeah, if you have any questions about who we are or even our careers,
what we do,
you can put those in the chat.
You can put them in the chat now. I am checking to see if anybody has put anything down.
I got a question. How did you get into acting?
You?
And modeling.
You?
I know.
Cause for me, I didn't always want to. I was cool behind the camera. I was like,
I'm gonna stay behind the camera.
I was like, I was cool with it. But there's the calling of your wife and the divine spiritual provoking that she said, I know you're supposed to be in front of the camera. And I'm like, nah. For what? Like, I'm just going to be standing there, looking like.
When I tell y'all, I had to drag him from behind the camera to get in front of the camera. Like, it's amazing because he's very naturally gifted in so many areas.
Oh,
so many things. Like, there's things we haven't even explored yet with all his gifts. And I've just seen
sorry about that. I got a phone call. No, we're good.
Wait,
we're still alive.
The screen's gone.
We're still alive. Hold up.
I don't know what happened.
It's how people like
put it on airplane mode.
We put it on airplane mode.
Ooh, that scared me. I thought we dropped the live.
Sometimes people are like, are y'all live? And I'm like, yeah, we live. So anyway, sorry.
Okay. So no.
It's okay.
I lost my train of thought.
It's okay.
Yeah, but it's just to say, yeah. Sometimes your spouse can see gifts in you that just need to be cultivated. So I could see that he had a gift for acting. He's actually very good. Like, y'all, you'll see a lot more of his acting even this year. But I could see he was just really good at it. And I just decided to submit him for some castings and things like that. And
started working out.
He's been doing his thing. So
glory be to God.
So that's just something that it's funny how your spouses can sometimes see like gifts in you.
And I'm not just doing it for her. Don't get it twisted. Like, I do it because I actually found a
little passion for it. That's what's up. But anyways,
I'm just playing.
Listen to your wives.
Yeah. So,
but he's done the same thing for me. Like, he's been able to really encourage me to pursue a lot of the things and dreams that I've had. So it's the beautiful part about marriage is you can really support one another. And it's so important to do it without even like I don't know, like, it's interesting because, like, I think we've even been asked the question of, like, do we ever get jealous of each other's gifts? Which is a very good question, because I think a lot of times in relationships that can happen.
Yeah.
You can kind of become jealous
because what she's good at, I cannot do. The draw, the influence, whatever, like. Nicole, only Nicole can Nicole. I can't do this. Nicole, that's like, and sometimes it can kind of get confused because it's like, oh, like if, let's say we come around people and they're like, oh, Nicole, you're this, or Nicole, congratulations, or even if she may receive accolades from a company or whatever the case may be, like, congrats, like, she deserved it, she earns it. Like, there's no competition, there's no who can make more money.
Yes.
There's no you're better than me, or I'm better than you, or we need to compete. No, I'm here to support you, and if I am pushing you, or if you just do it flawlessly on your own, that's perfect. That's perfectly fine. Yeah. There's no level of entitlement that I have to her gifts.
Yeah. And I feel the same way, because I'm like, God created you as an individual for him to get the glory from your life. Yeah. And that's an individual thing. But at the same time, yes, we're married and the two become one. Mm-hmm. But I know that you have an individual walk to walk, and that God has to use you in whatever way he sees fit. And in different seasons, that looks different. Like, there's been some seasons where you've had to be with the kids while I was performing, like, a days on end, and then he would just mainly be with them. Or there's been seasons where he was now full-time working, and he's, like, out working, and I'm with the kids full-time. And there's just been that, like, that give and take with that in just different seasons. Yeah. But at the same time, we are team.
We are.
So if somebody's winning,
we all win.
We all win.
And the thing is, if you step back and, like, remove the whole competition, entitlement, and whatever, like, I made you. No. If you step back, you might actually learn something to apply in your life.
Yeah.
Like, one thing, I am a very creative person. Mm-hmm. Very creative person.
Amen.
But she is also I wish the camera could, like, zoom. I wish you could see my face. Funny. She is a very creative person. But what happens is, because she's creative in her own way, there are things I can look at and use to take and say, okay, that might apply to something I can do to make it better.
Right.
It's not more so saying this is my side, that's your side. You can actually feed off of what each other is doing.
Exactly. And I'll say something too, even with our business and, like, creating Works of Wonder, the production company. I started off with the company just myself when we first got married. I was photographer, videographer, and I was, like, shooting weddings, and that was just really my thing and what I really loved. But I noticed how really good he could shoot with a cell phone, and I was like, wait, you need to be doing what I'm doing. Like, you need to get in this. So that's how we ended up starting Works of Wonder Studios together. But originally I was just doing it. But when I saw that gift inside him, I'm like, hey, this is your time. And to be honest with you now, he's the main shooter. Like, this man, I mean, the stuff that I've seen him do with the camera is bananas. It's crazy. Like, it's mind blowing. So
yeah.
I don't know. It's just interesting, but I don't think I've ever felt. I've never felt any competition. I've just always felt like, I don't know. When I see you winning, when I see you using your gifts for the glory of God, when I see you just doing what you're called to do, it makes me excited. Like, I'm just so happy for you, genuinely, just excited. Stop! Don't do that. But
I thank you. And anything I am comes from God. Let's get that straight. Mm-hmm. To be able to have whatever gift is simply just to make his name great. Yeah. And yes, he's given me the whole ability thing, but it's really cool to see.
Oh, we got questions.
No, we have several questions.
Oh,
I haven't gotten there. But very blessed. Thank you all. I love you. And so, yeah, want to get to them. So, first question that I got to scroll back up. So, we say, how do you handle your daily life along with raising your children and spending quality time with each other? Listen, I'm gonna be real authentic about this. I'm going to go check on them, make sure they're cool. I'll be right back, and I'll answer it when I get back.
Right. We got to go check out now. Because to be honest with you, like, we don't have, at the moment, we do not have, like, a set babysitter. We don't have a nanny for our kids, things like that. So they're a part of our lives a whole lot. Like, pretty much 24/7, they're a part of our lives. So I think what we've created in our home space, though, is for their room to really be the room where they can, like, they have all their toys set up. They have, like, the imagination world and things like that. And sometimes we'll just go in there and just play with them. Actually, a lot of the time. Or if even earlier today when we were getting, like, our live set up, Brielle, she's really into cameras now. So she's, like, coming in here. She's like, okay, how do we set up the camera? I want to do the lights. And she'll sit and she'll just, like, help us set up. But honestly, my goal in my heart is to just keep them a part of what we do so that even they have a sense of ownership with the company, that they have a sense of, like, this is their company too. So even though they're 5, you know. But yeah, I don't think there's ever any perfect, I don't feel like there's a perfect time equivalent that I've found quite yet. But, you know, honestly, we're just like, we're following God every single day. There's times where, even with our YouTube channel, like, we're trying to be more consistent with it, but there's times where we'll just focus on the family because now we're doing production as well. So they're in front of the camera a lot. So there's just times where we'll just, you know, we'll be home. We'll take them for bike rides. We'll take them out and just, I mean, we're together 24/7. So coloring and writing.
I don't know what she said.
No, I was just saying how, like, Brielle was a part of, like, the setup earlier. Oh, and how we just really want to keep them a part of the company.
So the question was, how do you handle both your daily life along with raising your children and spending quality time with each other? So I personally think one of the biggest things, I don't know what she said, but I know
well, inclusion. I think we talked about the kids.
I know inclusion is very big. How do you handle both your daily life along with raising your children and spending quality time with each other? Well, we don't have relatives here.
Right.
It's just us in Florida. It's, you know, so, and then, you know, due to what's going on right now
with the pandemic,
with the pandemic, you know, we have to be very specific, you know, when it comes to childcare, and things like that, to keep, you know, all of us safe. And because we travel and because we act, because we do film, because we do weddings, because I travel sometimes, because she travels sometimes, we have to be very strategic about the kids parenting. But this is funny because this is where the podcast comes from. You know, the love we have for ourselves, for each other, we got to pour it back into them.
Yeah.
You know, really keeping them included, you know, informing them about what's going on and not just doing things so that they're unaware, and kind of making it the family dynamic that, okay, mommy and daddy are with me, or okay, mommy and daddy might be filming, or they're bringing me along. You know, we bring them every chance we can.
Pretty much all the time. They're like, okay, are we going to set? Okay.
Yeah. And so, you know, they're pretty much familiar with that process. So I think love, inclusion, and just simply being intentional. I'm about to say being intentional, taking that time to say, hey, it's me and you.
He literally would do that anywhere. And that's the thing, because it's like, we work a lot. We work, like, a lot. But I think what we've done, because we work together, there's just moments that we just steal in our day to just like have this time between us, and it's just, I don't know, it's just like life-giving. Not life-giving, but it's just like rejuvenating. We have, I would say we have really good moments. So
definitely, I'll say inclusion, love, and being intentional. So we have another question. You can read that one.
How much is your wife involved in your decision making? Y'all. Okay, I'm laughing because I'm so grateful because we've grown to this point. It hasn't always been this way. We'll talk more about it too. But we've grown to this point now where when I tell you he literally asked me my opinion about so much. And like, even the other day, I think you were asking where you should go to get air in the tires. Like, which gas station should you choose? And I was just like, you can make this decision without me. Because it's like, I'm so grateful because he really includes me in a lot of
because it's a lot. There's twofold to it. There's first one is I value her opinion. And I know that she's coming from a place of love and understanding. So if I ask her something, the information is valuable. But the second reason is I just like checking in. I like letting my wife know what I'm doing. Trying to keep her as best as I can to update. Especially like if I'm out on the road, it's because, things are uncertain. Just checking in, saying hello.
Which is so true. It's so true. Like, there are people who have gone out literally just to go to the grocery store and have lost their lives in car accidents. So like, life is short, and it's so good when you can like check in with your spouse and just like be like, hey, I'm okay. And that's it. Like, that's the call. But literally, I'm grateful because you always include me.
Yeah.
I'm like, you figure it out. I don't know. But no, not to say that he doesn't make decisions.
But no,
because he does make decisions.
So to literally answer your question, you said how much? All the time.
All the time. Yeah. That's. I mean,
no. I'm gonna say. I'll give myself like 94.
Yeah.
Because there are things that I just do habitually that I don't even think to ask.
I'll say, especially when it comes to your realm of photography and videography. Majority of the time, he's not going to ask me no question because he knows exactly what he's going to do. And that's okay because I trust everything that he does, especially for the business. And I mean, even for our house, like for the kids, like I trust everything you do.
Yeah.
So we've grown to this point, though. We have not always been like this. It's just something we've been growing.
So we answered that one. Great question. Thank y'all. If you have any more, definitely drop them below. Next question is, how do you both handle, let me see. Wait, where to go? How do you both handle a disagreement that might elevate?
Good question.
You want to go first? You want me to go first? Because I'll go first.
Well, you go first.
All right, so my question.
Your question or
a
your
disagreement
answer?
that might elevate. Okay, so
I can go first.
Let me use. Okay.
I can go first.
So I want to use a real example. Oh
yeah? Oh, a real example?
So, okay. All right. Well, first, I'll say it this way. I'm going to say something first and I'll give you an example. You have to put things in place verbally with your spouse so that you'll be able to know, or I'll say it this way. You need to be able to identify a strategic process for when things either get heated,
right,
for when someone gets upset.
Yes.
Because
we're human, we're going to get frustrated, we're going to get angry, we're going to get mad, we're going to get upset, because these are literally feelings that God even even in the Bible it said that you'll be angry, but sin not. So these are feelings that we'll have, but like he was saying, you have to have I would say interval, but I would say something set up beforehand of this is how we're going to handle when we're upset, when we're angry, when we get heated. Mm-hmm. One thing we have both agreed on a long time ago, because we didn't when we first got married, was we will not leave the premises.
Yes.
Because this guy,
he
used to be a runner.
Well, that sounds real weird. You get mad, do you run? No. You would just leave. I would leave. You would just leave. Like I would walk. I would go away. Yeah. You know, it's funny because believe it or not, you know, when people say, "Oh, I need space," I'll say this is different for people. It's just a recommendation. Yeah,
because some people do need to step out. Some people need and cool down.
That's okay.
So it's everybody different.
But for us, leaving the premises was very toxic. Because, you know, you tend to allow voices. You tend to maybe sometimes call people to confide in that maybe have no idea of your situation. Yes. Or sometimes which is something we both not the best interest at heart and can kind of aid and kind of cope with you so that you kind of stay in the wrong or in however you're feeling versus pull you out and constructively give you feedback. Right. So we learned that if something is going on, 1, to identify it, 2, to be transparent, but 3, like slow down. Like, okay, all right, we're upset.
Wait, I have to correct something.
What happened?
We do have my mother who lives in Georgia. She has come all the way down to Florida to watch the kids for many projects we have had to do. I did not want to. She was in the comments. I was like, I don't want to act she has not assisted us, because she's definitely assisted. She has.
What we were referring to is
local
here, like local.
But Mom, we're so grateful for you.
Mama, we love you. You know, and I'll say, I'll even throw in a little segment. We've been very gracious because there's been times where we needed someone. Yes. And she has gone above and beyond to travel here. Yes. For a project. So that's
the truth. We're grateful, Mom. We thank you.
So we thank you.
But yes, go back to what you were saying.
But to go back to basically, so when things get heated and when we get upset, like I said, establishing that guideline. So I'll use a real example. Or be able to come. Okay, no, this is such a good question because first you have to know that your spouse isn't out to get you. They're not out like for me, and I'll say it this way. For me and Nicole, I love her no matter what. I don't attach things she does to how I felt or feel towards her. I love her. That doesn't change. No matter what she does, it doesn't change. If she throws spaghetti over the sheets or I'm just making up something. Whatever you can deem that would probably tick you off. I may get angry, but it has nothing to do with why I love or fell in love with her. Because a lot of the times people attach actions with the person. And what happens is if you don't pay attention, you'll lose the love for the person because of one action. And maybe things lost, things that you built, progress, communication, elevation that you may have experienced in the relationship or with that person, you can throw it all away over one simple action because the love for that person may have been rooted in action versus the person in the relationship. Hey, so, Ben. As you can see, this is Benjamin.
We're recording.
He's saying hello. He came in, he said hello. But as y'all can see, we got kids. Oh, yes. We can't have Benjamin without Brielle.
Hi, Brielle. Say hello.
Yeah, so this is us. This is the Cole family.
This is us. But I'll say the way that I handle. Okay, hold on, guys. Go play for me. Yeah. I gotta go. All
right, go get ready. Love you. Close the door.
Okay.
So it's basically saying attach to basically attach action. No, do not attach the action to the person. And that is one thing I know. So when I'm coming to her, if I'm upset, at least she knows that I love her. So my intention would never be to hurt her. So if we ever have a disagreement, it's separate, or vice versa. You know, if she's coming to me, or if she's feeling some type of way, or if she's done something that I'm upset with, then.
But I think really having boundaries is so important, because even as you were saying with actions, there's just a certain limit that I would not cross, and that's important, because sometimes people can get upset and get physical. And that's just the line you can't cross. Mm-hmm. So on one spectrum, I think I would even say hurtful things.
Even not even physical, verbally too.
Right.
You know, everybody know when you get mad, stuff come up in your head that you want to say. But there's still a choice to make. Yeah. No matter how upset you get, there's a choice to make.
Yeah. So one thing that I like to do is really give time. Mm-hmm. Give time. And I'm just learning this beauty of time in so many different ways. But in disagreements, I'll say when you can really take a moment, when the Bible says be slow to speak and quick to listen, there's just times where I would say, if anything, if we have a disagreement, it's because there's some breakdown in miscommunication. Mm-hmm. There is something that you may be saying, or I may be saying, that's not understood. So there's a breakdown there. So what I like to do is really slow down. And this, to the flesh, will feel horrible. It will feel, it feels like, wait, I have to humble myself, or you have to humble yourself in this moment and literally just sit and listen. And then say, okay, you know what? I still don't get it. And then still give time. I mean, honestly, I've learned to really slow down. When it comes to
pray for hearing and understanding.
Yeah. And honestly, prayer, I can't even front. Prayer is our secret sauce.
It's that weapon.
Like prayer is the only way we are standing here. Let's prayer, yes. And then also being doers of the word and not just hearers of the word. Because we can just read the Bible, we can pray, but if we never implement these things actually in the word, then we're never going to change. So I would say prayer is a huge part of dealing with misunderstandings, dealing with anger. Because the reality is, even if you say that thing to your spouse that you just want to get out so bad, and it's just like, all right, that moment of satisfaction, but then all you got is this guilt left, and then this like, man, I actually
don't let a moment of satisfaction ruin a lifetime of happiness. Yeah,
which is what I learned, because I know I got a mouth. Like the Lord blessed me with a mouth to pray, to speak, you know, but also the enemy wants to use that. So the enemy will give you drop all types of thoughts of things and words you can say to be really hurtful. But you got to be real careful with your weapons, and words can be weapons. So
so definitely being intentional with the guidelines, understanding the love that you guys have for each other before the issues,
an argument.
You know, because like even and then putting the pride to the side to be able to either apologize, reconcile, come back together,
and you know
talk it out.
I think for us,
Hey, Mommy.
Hey, Ben.
Is there a baby in you?
No, I have no baby. Why would you say this?
Where's the baby?
No. Ain't no baby in there. No. Y'all, we is there's no baby.
Where's the baby?
Oh my gosh.
The baby.
Guys,
Alright, so for the record, no, they have been learning about babies. They've been seeing pregnant people at the store. Pregnant women, not people. So they've been asking these questions. No, there is no baby. We are not expecting. She's not pregnant. We good. We got 2 kids.
Not that there's anything wrong.
There's nothing wrong. Just letting that.
Lord have mercy. He did that on
Mia
live.
said, "Ooh, probably."
So, where were we? Oh, I was gonna say, but like how we developed this the way that so thrown off. But no, how we developed the communication during argument is because we've seen how far we could actually go. Unfortunately, the horrible ways that our disagreements actually almost ended up literally ruining our marriage and completely just like disbanding it. So I think we just know where we don't want to go. Yeah. And so that's why we decided to set limits even when we're upset.
But believe it or not, I'll tell you this, you know how people say like there's a tolerance or there's like a limit before you are knowledgeable of the ascend into anger. Like you are aware, all right, they may be making me upset, irritated or things like that. So you see it climbing. Yeah. So there's always a choice.
And this is for single, married, anyone. When the Bible says, be angry, but sin not, God acknowledges your feeling, your emotion. He doesn't at all want you to just hold in how you feel. But I do believe that God wants us to communicate our emotions and our feelings well and effectively. Mm-hmm. And sometimes you may not have the tools of how to communicate. But this is why I say counseling is actually very good. Because there are counselors, godly Christian counselors, who can really give you tools for communicating even your feelings and emotions so you don't have to bottle them up either. Because it's not necessarily that you just want to keep stuff in, because that's not healthy for you. It's not. So really being able to communicate and setting a safe space between each other.
She's not going to hurt me.
Right.
No. Well, let me rephrase that. Anything she's saying is not that she doesn't have the intention to hurt me.
It may just
I'll say it that way.
It may just be to voice my emotion. And he creates a space to listen.
If I'm in the wrong and she's coming to me about something, then she's coming with the intent that this is how I feel. I am upset. Take it. And then obviously, if it makes me upset or if it affects me, you can then communicate that. There's a way to go about. Now, we don't always get it, don't always get it right. However, having the space to be able to talk, to be able to go back and forth.
I really don't think there's any perfect way of communication. It's really whatever works for you to not sin. Because it's real what the word says. Just be angry, but sin not. So
you feel. If you're upset, angry, disgusted, that's cool. Mm-hmm. It's perfect to feel that way. It's what you do with it.
Yes.
It's how you harvest that thought.
Yes.
It's where you move it to. When you start making decisions. Perfect example.
In that moment.
If she's talking and I'm making, if I'm trying to work and I can't stand it, how I feel is completely valid. Yeah. But it's what I do next. Yeah. It could be locking the door out of anger, saying, don't come in, don't come back. It could be verbally saying, you're getting on my nerves, I need you to stop.
Or just decision.
It's just those decisions to say how she feels. She always this, she always that. You're continually putting these labels on your spouse, and we have power with our words. And the more you continue to say those things, feel those things, and put those things on whomever, spouse, friend, whoever it is, you'll start to see that, and your heart will be hardened towards that person.
Yeah, and I think
your heart will be hardened toward that.
There's always so many different seasons that we go through. Because I remember seasons that we went through where, you were in a space of really wanting to communicate. Really wanting to communicate. But I was not yet ready with the tools to listen. Mm-hmm. Being a listener is a literal, it's something that you got to really practice at. Being able to listen. Because there's sometimes where people want to communicate things that are difficult to hear. But really getting to the space of being able to listen to somebody and where they're at and not take offense to it. Or even if you do take offense to it, you're not, it doesn't hit your heart in a certain way. You're just able to listen and really sit and just give it time. But I remember a season where you were really trying to communicate more, and I just really didn't know how to listen. So it became very difficult. And then the bottling up started to happen in him and his emotions. And he just decided to bottle up everything. He got real quiet. Now, when men go quiet, there's nothing in the world that could get him to talk but him. Like, yeah. I couldn't even get him to talk because I was like, just talk to me. You can talk to me. But I hadn't created the place to listen. So, and even in vice versa. You've always had the skill to be able to listen, but I think it's a matter of when you chose to use it. You know what I mean? Like, sometimes there's just so much that can happen, especially with disagreements, because like things can just get because we've been on the side of literally almost going to divorce, and then we've been on the side of like, rebuilding and building the marriage and things. But like when you're on the side of like separation, splitting up, things like that, like things can get so petty, I'll say. Like just really petty.
And the funny thing, now I'll say this about it applies to all people, but especially your spouse, especially when you guys are like in love or you know a lot about each other.
Yes.
This is when being angry is one thing, but those actions, using what you know personally about someone, can become ammo.
Yeah.
It become, and you start spewing out things that start poking at the wall, start piercing in certain areas, and start hitting. So
right, but I think getting to the point of deciding that we are truly a team and we're actually really one. So it's like, would you want to hurt yourself? Like, would you want to tell the same words?
Now you said it.
Would you want to tell the same words to yourself that you're telling to your spouse? Like, would you really want to hear this in this moment? Like, really being able to have compassion and putting yourself in your spouse's shoes. And even, this is for actual relationships. This is for sisters. This is for brothers. This is for aunts, uncles. Like, if you're having this disagreement, or if you're trying to communicate and there's a communication breakdown. That's why I say disagreements first happen. There's a communication breakdown somewhere. You have to be able to put yourself in the other person's shoes and even try to feel like what they may be feeling in that. And it's something that you just got to work on. It's not necessarily like, you may not be able to do it at first, but there's just some words that are hurtful, and you may not even realize it until you put yourself in that person's perspective.
And I'll end what I have to say, because that was dope. That was really dope. Would you want to hurt yourself? That was fine.
But the Bible. I'm sorry. Real quick, because there's a verse. Because God says, "Love your neighbor as yourself." So it's the same concept, but with communication. Communicate to your neighbor as you would want to be communicated to. Because in communication, sometimes we can feel love in that way, or we can feel hate in that way, as we are seeing a lot around the world, just words being thrown out, and it's like hateful words and stuff. So.
Nah, that was dope. I forgot what I was gonna say.
I'm so sorry. It was just that one verse I had to say, because these are verses. These are verses that we really have to keep reciting.
I remember.
For ourselves.
I remember now. Yeah. And I'll say the last thing. Fellas, if it applied to you, women, if it applied to you, like earlier, I'll use something extremely that happened today. I was editing something, and my wife came in, and saw I was having an issue. Now, I was already frustrated because I was working on some export and it wasn't working, working on an export and it wasn't working. And she came in pointing out and already talking about a situation. She was giving me a solution. She was saying, hey, if you do this, you should just do that, take out this, da-da-da-da. Now, I had already did what she said, even though she didn't know, she kept saying it. And it was getting me upset. But I wasn't looking at the fact that she had no idea, or I'll say prior knowledge to the effort or the what I've tried to make work before she came in. Because she came in, she was, you should change this and maybe you should fix that. And I'm like, Nicole, that's not what it is. But I was already frustrated before her. So when she came in, now she thinks I'm frustrated at her. And it's a whole lot of things. Yeah. So she leaves. You know, she's all right, you can figure it out. And she leaves. And I said, okay, slow down. Figured it out. Now Nicole, no, she was in there just.
Oh, I didn't pay no mind.
She didn't pay no mind.
I'm like, okay.
But even if she was cool, I was not.
Right.
So I went in to the bathroom, apologized, told her I love her.
And the thing is, I had to leave room for you to come back and apologize. Because I didn't know that you had tried to export it in that way before. Yeah. But I had a feeling that he was just real frustrated with the process anyways. So
I was mad.
Yeah, so I just went on, kept getting ready. But
I had to understand
he had to come back
that
to apologize, you know.
Sometimes you cannot get mad.
Apologizing is important.
Because you can't get mad at someone for knowledge they don't have.
No, right? Because I'm coming in just trying to help him.
They don't know.
Right.
They don't know. I can't get mad at her if she has had no idea of what I did before or what I was trying to do. She came in because she's caring and she wants to help and she has great knowledge on editing. She came and said, do this, do this, do this. However, even though it didn't apply, it doesn't necessarily mean she was trying to get on my nerves. So I went back in, apologized. Yeah. And but this was all in like a 5-minute span. Yeah. So it's just to say, yes, it could have been heated, but that's a perfect example of getting it, hashing it out, and figuring it out on the fly.
Yeah. And like I said before, there's no really perfect way of communication. However, if you feel what you feel, I'll say feel what you feel. But continuously work on communicating it in an effective way. Because even when you were able to come back and apologize, you were like, you know what? I was just really frustrated with the program. It wasn't working. I kept trying exactly what you're talking about, but that wasn't working. And I could have, in that moment, I could have been like, well, why didn't you say something right then? You were being quiet. You didn't say anything. But you just gotta, if he's already apologizing, we're going to pick the battle here. Let's take a moment, pick the battle. All right. It's okay. Let's move on.
Yeah. So but all in all, thank you, everyone, for tuning in.
Any more questions?
If you have any more questions, this is it. We are getting ready to wrap. Again, we will be going live every Tuesday at 6 p.m. in the month of February. That's right, Mom. You can only control you.
That's right.
But no, we will be going live every single Tuesday at
in the
6
month of
p.m.
February.
In the month of February.
As we celebrate this month of love and Black History Month. I don't know if I did that right. But is it this one? I don't know. We celebrate Black history as we are Black and we love and we love our history. No, for real. Because oftentimes, even in the industry we're in, sometimes we're the only African Americans in the room. But you better believe we are standing there with a full understanding.
With all love.
Yeah, with all love for everyone, but with full understanding that the people who came before us died for this. Like, they fought for this. And this is why we celebrate Black History Month. Like, it's a real time that we need to keep paying homage to the people who really fought for us to just simply be able to walk in a grocery store in the front door.
And I'll say this to add, and this is my piece, to just say, set the standard. Set the standard on how you want people to view you, how you want the change, how you want to admit that change in your community, your family, your marriage, your neighborhood, and be the change you want to see.
Yeah.
Because it's going to start with you. If you don't see it in the world, it has to start with you.
Yep.
But we love all those that came before us, that sacrificed their lives, time, energy, careers, to push a movement, to push the emotion of creating equality and providing rights for those who were less fortunate during those times. And to be even where we are with
and
this
who didn't
progress,
have a platform.
Who didn't have a platform.
Like, they didn't have Facebook to be able to voice themselves. Like, they had to get out there and march, and it was a different type of sacrifice. So we're grateful for that, and we just celebrated, and we're just grateful.
Everybody done?
Yeah.
No more questions?
Yes, no more.
All right, y'all got 10 seconds? 10 seconds?
You gonna pray us out?
Oh, okay, cool. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Well, I'll definitely pray us out. Dear Heavenly Father, God, we love you. We appreciate you, God. I thank you for bringing us together, God. Me and Nicole, everyone on here that watched, will watch, God. Let them know that you love them, that we love them, Lord. We appreciate them tuning in. And God, may their lives be transformed by things that they may experience in their home, their marriage, their relationships with each other, their siblings, their families. May restoration happen. May people come home. God, may people be able to forgive and love again. God, I pray that people's dreams that may have been barren, God, that you'll set them free. God, release the cages on anybody that's suffering from any locks or any writer's block of creativity. I pray, God, that they'll be able to be free and be themselves. God, I pray that they'll be able to see the beauty in themselves, that they'll be able to see the love that they once had for a specific someone, God, or for their children. May they be free, God, and enriched in education, knowledge, and just complete joy. And we love you, Lord. We appreciate you. And you are truly, God, the love that lives within us in the world. And we pray in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
We love y'all. We will see y'all next Tuesday at 6 p.m. here on Facebook and on YouTube. We love you, YouTube.
Keep love alive.
We love you, Facebook. Keep the love alive. Peace, y'all.